Hey, what's up guys, the Polygon here bringing you guys another bombastic video, and today I want to talk about sensitivities in CSGO. And is there a best sensitivity? A sensitivity that everybody should use, a sensitivity that's perfect. And long story short, no, there isn't. But there are correct sensitivities for everybody in the world. And what I'm trying to say is that sensitivities all come down to personal preference. And someone will prefer a lower sensitivity, someone will prefer a higher sensitivity. But you can't deny that CSGO was made to be played with a relatively low sensitivity. Now, if you just started playing the game, or if you haven't looked into all the different aspects of the game yet, then you probably don't know that you should probably lower your sensitivity. A mistake that a lot of people make is that they start playing the game with a very high sensitivity and they get used to it, making it extremely hard for them to later on switch to a lower sensitivity, or at least to not so high sensitivity, and I made that mistake myself. Basically, when I started playing CSGO, I was used to an extremely high sensitivity. I believe the first time I played CSGO, my sensitivity was like 7 at 1600 DPI, which is just ridiculous if you think about it. Tiny movements with my wrist made a big difference in game. Like, with the tiny wrist movement, I could turn 360 degrees, I could turn 720 degrees actually, just by using my wrist. Now with my current sensitivity, which is 1.4 on 800 DPI, I need to use my arm and I need to swipe all the way across my mousepad to turn 180 degrees. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that CSGO was made to be played with a relatively low sensitivity. And what do I mean by relatively low sensitivity? If you haven't looked into it at all, I'm here to enlighten you. A sensitivity that's like, that would be considered normal in the CSGO community is somewhere between 1.4 to 4 on 400 DPI. I'd say that's like the normal sensitivities you will see people play at. Some people will play lower than that, which I think is just absolutely ridiculous. Some people will play higher than that, which is still ridiculous, but not so ridiculous. But anyway, a player like Elige, a pretty successful North American player playing for Team Liquid right now, if I'm not mistaken, is currently playing on 0.96 sensitivity at 1600 DPI, which is basically the equivalent to 4 sensitivity on 400 DPI. So his sensitivity is relatively high, and he used to play on an even higher sensitivity. He used to play on something ridiculous, if I'm not mistaken, but he's been lowering his sensitivity over time. But if you look at the majority of CSGO professional players, I mean NBK, Apex, Tariq, Adren, they all play on pretty low sensitivities, usually not higher than 3 on 400 DPI. Obviously there are players who go pretty low, and one of them is Guardian, who I believe is playing on 1.4 sensitivity. Also, there was a pretty good North American player, Professor Chaos, who was playing on an extremely high sensitivity, and he was actually very good. He was doing work for his team, but he retired, but he had an extremely high sensitivity. I don't remember exactly right now, but it was way over 6 on 400 DPI, and he mastered it. He was playing very well with it. But the thing is, it's harder to master a higher sensitivity than a lower sensitivity. If you're using a very high sensitivity right now, and you think you can use it for the rest of your life, and you have mastered it and that kind of stuff, I would suggest you to try lower sensitivities as well, because maybe it will end up that you like them more. But basically, the lower your sensitivity, the higher your margin for error can be. And that's a good thing. I mean, I'm currently using 1.4 on 800 DPI, equivalent to 2.8 on 400 DPI. I'd say it's average. I mean, a little bit higher than average probably, but not anything super high. And I've been using this sensitivity for 3 months now. I was using 1.8 on 800 DPI before that, and I like this sensitivity a lot more. I've gotten used to it, And yeah, I mean, some people just don't want to try out lower sensitivities because they feel like they won't be able to turn 360 degrees this fast. But honestly, it shouldn't be a problem at all. When do you think you will have to turn 360 degrees in game that fast? I mean, there are absolutely no situations where you would have to do it. Sometimes you will need to turn 180 degrees, and with a reasonably low sensitivity it's still possible to do it with one mouse swipe. But obviously for it you need a relatively large mouse pad. I'm using a SteelSeries QCK Plus, a mouse pad I would definitely recommend, and an optical mouse is also very important when it comes to CSGO gaming. So I would suggest getting a good mouse pad and a good mouse to become more precise in game. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. Just wanted to let you guys know what are the correct sensitivities to use in CSGO. And I want to know, what sensitivity do you use? Let me know down below in the comment section. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. It's been the Bali Commentator, and I'll see you all later. Peace out.